Hello, 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 and welcome to the eCommerce Redneck Show. Today we've got a really special guest. We've got the GM of Shopware, Jason Nyhus, and we're going to talk about Shopware. You know, the one thing that I've seen is everywhere I go that agencies are, they're talking about the new kid on the block here in America, not new entirely. They're really big in Europe. So without further ado, let me get Jason on. Jason, hold on. Jason, how are we doing?
Hello. Doing great. Man, I do love that intro music. That just jacks me up, getting me excited to talk to you, Jeremy. Thanks for having
Well,
me.
that's my best friend's band from a few years back called Bo Hodges Band. And so I got lucky. It was very fitting with my e-commerce redneck thing. So, it worked out well.
Adding them to my playlist as we speak. Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Well, uh, with that said, tell us a little bit about Shopware and what your journey's been with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on the call and the pod. So, Shopware, I've been at the company coming up on 2 years, and man, it's been nothing short of amazing. Um, I remember getting a call from a recruiter in, say, April of 2022. And they said, "Hey, we have this leadership role at Shopware. You should speak to them."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I'll never forget it. I said to them, "Who the hell is Shopware, and why does the world need another commerce platform?" And I think they took it as a challenge to really help answer that question for me. And over the course of the last couple of years, I've been fortunate enough to convince a few of the agencies that we work with, including your great company, Blazer, and a whole bunch of merchants to really explore that question: Who is Shopware, and why does the world need another commerce platform?
Right. And what exactly is it that Software's whole approach is here in the Americas? Obviously, you've kind of really gotten really far in Europe and other places. Kind of what is y'all's focus here in the States? What do you look to offer that other platforms aren't?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I think I answered that question by going a little bit back as kind of the answer how I answered the question, why Shopware, because I think it will answer yours. And what I looked at when I dug in is that Shopware is really dominant in Germany. And why does
Mm-hmm.
that matter? It's the fifth largest economy in the globe, one of the largest e-commerce markets, but also Germany is the home to where most e-commerce platforms originated. And I think of the 18 companies on the Gartner Magic Quadrant for commerce, 10 of them have roots in Germany.
Oh,
So more
really?
than half.
Wow.
And so think about it, like companies like Spryker and Commerce Tools and Shopware, but
Mm-hmm.
also the CEO of Shopify, Toby Lutke, German. The other examples are Salesforce is running their core product is the old Demandware product. Well, guess what that
Yeah,
is? That's actually
German.
a that's a spin off of InnerShop, which is
Oh.
German. You got Hybris, which is SAP Commerce, German.
Mm-hmm.
The list goes on and on. So in that market, so
Are you
I
trying to
already
act like they know what they're doing?
well, they're just a bunch of really smart,
Yeah,
detail-oriented people, which I think you
mm-hmm.
have engineers, which you have to be great in commerce.
Engineer
The
minded.
difference is the
Minded.
details. Yep. And so when I dug into it, and I realized, knowing that great commerce has really kind of come from Germany, and
Mm-hmm.
then I looked, and like 20 to 25% of all commerce done in Germany is done using Shopware, a market that knows the difference between good and great commerce platforms. I realized there was something special there. And so, to answer your question succinctly, Jeremy, um, they did something very German. They started over with their product. And in 2016, they realized that they were spending a lot of their R&D refactoring the product for things like mobile commerce and social commerce and headless commerce and
Mm-hmm.
composability and native API first and yada yada yada. And so what they did was very German, very cold, and said, we need to start over. We're no longer going to spend all of our time and energy just fixing the house we already have. We need to build a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And so with 0 lines of code ported from the old to the new, they started over building what
Wow.
is today the product we have in the market, which is Shopware 6. So they launched it in December of 2019. I like to tell people our product is new since 2020, but Germans are very specific. So no, it's December of 2019.
Yeah.
And so that what that means, Jeremy, is we've got the most modern commerce platform in the market that deliver more features and functions faster and have already thought about how things that are standard today can be delivered natively without
Mm-hmm.
having to require yourself to add on a whole bunch of apps to do it. Now, we have a robust app store with thousands and thousands of plugins and apps, but you can get things natively through our product like B2B, like subscriptions,
Mm-hmm.
like these rules and flow build that nobody else has. And for B2B merchants specifically, we've got this thing called digital sales rooms, which nobody else has. It's incredibly powerful. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we win on price. Yes, we win on features and functions, and I think we really also win on the fact that we're willing to kind of do what nobody else is to help merchants.
Right. Well, you know, my first question is always with a platform is not only around the functionality but the design. You know,
Yeah.
how
Yep.
flexible is it for design? Because nobody wants an ugly ass website. So, uh, and if you
Yes.
don't mind, I'd like to show a couple of examples that your people sent me that have
Love to.
been
Love
done on
that.
here. So,
Yeah. Well, so I'll start with when you design something from the ground up. Oh, that's a great example. YT Industries,
mm-hmm.
beautiful example of a
Mm-hmm.
great mid market client. So I think it's important before I answer your question to talk a little bit about who we're trying to serve. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that there are unbelievable platforms for SMBs like Shopify that if you're an SMB and you want to get the benefits of scale of a multi-tenant SaaS platform like a Shopify, we send merchants there every week. And
Mm-hmm.
there are really, really great solutions on the high upper end of the enterprise solution, like a commerce tools,
Mm-hmm.
which basically gives you a box of Legos and you get to build the castle to your own specifications, however you want. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that approach is it really creates this bifurcation of a market that I think has a middle ground that people aren't talking about, and it's the mid market.
Mm-hmm.
And this mid market has a unique dynamic where it's got expectations of the enterprise in terms of features and functions and capabilities and
Mm-hmm.
flexibility, but it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of got the budget of an SMB. And so they're in the what we call the flyover states of e-commerce.
Right.
So so what these mid-market merchants have in common is they have a passion to make sure that they can deliver their experience that they need that
Right.
matches their brand, but also some of the unique requirements or purchase experiences that they might have. And so when we designed Shopware, I wasn't part of it, but we as a company uh, designed it to be very experience driven. And so there's actually a video that was posted on LinkedIn, I think today even, that really does an A/B test of us versus the old Magento and how easy it is if you have very little skill set to be able to use WYSIWYG and drag and drop and editing capabilities, all the way up to the advanced users who want to do it all with code and not some visual editing tool and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And the big power here is that it's not an acquisition that we're trying to bolt on or integrate. It was built into the core product.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
that's really the big difference.
So not only do you have probably one of the most flexible platforms out there, but it's flexible from a design perspective as well. And you
Very.
know, I have to tell you, like, this site just blew me away. I love the beauty, the speed, the elegance of it. It just proves you can basically do anything you need to with Shopware from a front end perspective.
That's exactly right. And you think about what I talked about, how Shopware basically did start over and launched this product in December of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What that also means in terms of increased tooling, it
Mm-hmm.
also it includes increased performance because it's architected with today's standard with a modern code base that's built for performance. And so
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our competitors were kind of built and launched in 2010 and are around. And so for them to be simple, elegant, and performant is really, really tough. And for us, we just have a built-in advantage.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you basically have access to everything you need to in order to manipulate things, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. But we are also a headless solution. So if merchants have a need that has outgrown our utility, we have great partnerships with the Bloomreaches of the world, the Contentfuls, all these other heads that merchants could work with as well. So yes, and we're built to serve companies of even more complex requirements.
What do you really see the biggest niche so far in the Americas? What are you seeing it really take off, or do you think is the direction that the American audience is going to respond to the most?
Well, there's a couple of ways to answer that. The first, in terms of feature and function. So
Mm-hmm.
we've got this capability called Rule and Flow Builder,
Mm-hmm.
which basically create all sorts of things that make the e-commerce behave differently. So
Mm-hmm.
when to show what prices, when to show what offers, what products are taxed, what are not, all the different things you as rules that you want to apply, the system can automatically arbitrate all of that for you. And so then
Hmm.
it translates into flows, which is if these things are true, then show these
Basic
pages, send
logic.
these notification.
Yeah.
Yes, but in the old world, in Magento, these are custom things, custom jobs that sit outside of the core
Mm-hmm.
commerce platform. And so every time you would upgrade your version of Magento, you'd break some of these old rules that it used to
Mm-hmm.
go off and work with. Okay.
Right.
Well, all that configurable business logic now sits inside of Shopware. And every time the product is patched or upgraded or anything, it does regression tests to make sure that those things are going to pass and that the system are going to run. So it
Wow.
makes it part of the core engine as opposed to relying on a whole bunch of stranded assets it's trying to work with. So that's a
That's
that's a killer
that's
feature.
huge. That's huge
Yep.
against Magento, and I'm sure a bunch of other systems. I think really those people that have been looking for a lot easier system to use, but maybe would have been a Magento customer. That's who I see
Yes.
as being really a great customer for you. Somebody that needs a custom experience,
Yep.
needs all the tools, doesn't want to have 50,000 apps, that sort of thing. So,
Yep. Exactly. Yep. And so
well,
the other killer feature, real quick, if you don't mind,
mhm, yeah,
is
go
this
ahead.
thing called the digital sales room.
Hmm.
And this is killer. Every single B2B merchant I've showed it to, I think our
Hmm.
close ratio is like 75, 80%. It's outrageous. And what it is, it does to e-commerce what telehealth did to healthcare.
Okay.
And so if you think about how efficient a meeting with your doctor is, as
Uh huh.
opposed to getting in your car, driving, waiting room, see them, driving home, it's like 10 to 1 more efficient. Okay.
Right.
So we took that same kind of mindset and applied it to commerce. Now, sales reps in B2B, let's just say they have 50 accounts they work with, they're
Hmm.
going to hit their number or miss their number on the effects of 10. Agree with
Okay.
that principle, Jeremy?
Sure.
That means that 40 of the 50 accounts they work with are underserved. So the
Hmm.
digital sales room is meant to be a tool that allows them to efficiently and effectively sell using e-commerce, videos, presentation skills, and analytics, all tied into one experience for them to serve their underserved customers.
Now
And
that's different.
it's
Yeah.
super different. And
Yeah.
it's built native into the commerce platform, and it doesn't cost more than your normal relationship with Shopware would cost. So
Right. What are
very
some of the
differentiating.
things that y'all are kind of innovating on as far as, I know I hear a lot about things like AI and things like that. Do y'all have
Yep.
anything that y'all are kind of looking into or participating around that?
Oh, absolutely. Tons. We were the first major commerce platform on the Gartner Magic Quadrant to have AI as a feature in our core product. Again,
Hmm.
it doesn't cost you more to use. In fact, it's even in our community edition. At this point, we believe we have more features and functions leveraging AI than any other commerce platform. I think it's up to 15 unique capabilities. And
Hmm.
so the feedback that we get from our merchants is it doesn't eliminate my job at all. But what it
Right.
allows me to do is I've always had a stack of stuff I need to do, some more important than others.
Right.
The way that Shopware has integrated AI allows you to add products, to add descriptions, to optimize for SEO, to do a whole bunch of things automatically that turns them into approvers. And so while the blue collar work of running an e-commerce site, we've
Hmm.
taken 80% of that work away so that they can focus on the more high value creating work that they do. So it's simply an efficiency tool that we've seen.
Right. I definitely think that there's a lot of smart ways to use AI to be smarter in e-commerce, and to hear that you're building it in and being smart about keeping the tools up to date with the current trends is super exciting. And it's funny. I got recruited by Shopware a while
Wait, what?
back. Yeah, I did. And I didn't know who they were, and then I learned, and I was like, So, but it looks like an incredible platform. It looks like they made all the right steps moving forward so far, and we're excited to see. I believe you're speaking at Midwest E-commerce Summit as well. Is that correct?
We're a sponsor. We're participating.
Mm.
My VP of Sales, Mitch Baker, will be there. He's a lot
Okay.
more. He's Australian and he's
Uh huh.
more handsome and younger than me. So I think you got an upgrade there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're excited to have y'all and excited that y'all are sponsoring it. Can't wait to connect with your people and get them connected with our clientele. So, with that said, do you have any final statements that you wanted to make about Shopware, letting people know what's going on?
Well, so only one comment. I
Mhm.
want you to Google the word Shoptoberfest.
Okay.
Um, Shoptoberfest. So it's a Shopware invented event. We're
Mhm.
reinventing the way e-commerce events happen.
Mhm.
I've been doing them for 24 years, and every one I go to, I feel like I'm paying money to go to a commercial for a brand, and I don't want
Mhm.
that.
Right.
Never liked it, and I don't want it now. And so we're hosting a community event. It's called Shoptoberfest, and it's going to be a mix of commerce and community. And it's
And
really not about Shopware at all. It's all about the community.
and what is the date, time, place, etc.?
Yep. So Shoptoberfest is in Brooklyn, New York on September 17th. It is very limited space, 250 people total. It will sell out. So if you have interest, please go online and check it out.
Cool. Well, it was great to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show. We're excited about what Shopware is doing. I think it's such a great alternative that's coming into the market. Of course, Blazer's all behind it, and
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go. Well,
All
thanks for
right.
including, man. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Yeah, I did too. Thank you for coming on. Get ready to learn, connect, and innovate in the 2024 Midwest E-commerce Summit. Unlock the gateway to intelligent e-commerce by harnessing data, AI, and automation to boost your online sales. Join industry leaders in St. Louis to explore cutting-edge tools and strategies shaping the future of e-commerce. Discover how to optimize your online presence, streamline operations, and achieve explosive growth. Whether you're a startup or an established brand, MES will make your 2020s roar. This one-day conference features insightful speakers, industry success stories, solution demos, and growth strategies. Network with peers and presenters to expand your e-commerce community. Tickets are on sale now. Order early and save. Your pass includes full access to all conference content, food, drinks, and entertainment. So we'll see you there.
country boy awful far from home, doing what he can to keep the lights turned on. This city man has got me headed